Just so proud of our team. I think this tonight was a testament to a wilderness brotherhood. A bunch of guys that have fought through adversity their entire lives and career. We're not blue bloods. We're dirty, hard-working brotherhood that loves each other and fight for each other. We scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. We put our fist up, and we said, we're not giving in. We're faster, stronger, tougher than you in the fourth quarter, and we got an elite edge, and we're not going to be denied. And now we're the Cotton Bowl champs. M-I-Z.
You know that's a good promo.
You know, it's like in some ways, I'm not going to say nobody's you. But you put a mic in front of him.
Never
put a mic in front of Drake, and magic happens.
That was incredible.
It was terrific. And a great win for them, too. And Ohio State, a lot of guys may be coming back next year now. Marvin Harrison's going to be gone, but the quarterback was a looming issue, as Kirk pointed out last night.
Yeah, you know, even before you get to the quarterback situation, the offensive line, I was really surprised at how they were dominated by Missouri's front seven. Not only physically, but they had like multiple false start penalties to Ohio State's offensive line. So it just seemed like they was never this thing. When you have a running back like Trevion Henderson and you have a new starter, and Devin at the quarterback position, you want to feature your running back. You want to get that running game going. And if you really look at what Ryan Day likes to do offensively, everything starts with the running game. And once they were dominated at the line of scrimmage and they couldn't run the ball, then they were dead in the water, because you're not going to drop back and pass the ball at that point. To me, that's where the game was won and lost, in the trenches, Pat.
Yeah, a lot of punts last night, you know.
12 punts.
Yeah, it was
6 each team.
Absolutely beautiful.
It was a punt fest.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was, yeah.
Absolutely glorious down there in Jerry World. And the conversation about having a quarterback where the number 33 was maybe saying they were going to be doomed from the beginning with, even though Slinging Sammy Ball rocked it back in the day in fantastic fashion, who was also a punter. And the conversation about Ryan Day now is getting very, very loud, obviously, after the loss to Michigan. And now in the Cotton Bowl Classic, how we look and how the team played is certainly something that the people of Ohio aren't going to be pumped about. And there was a towel snag. I mean, there is a lot of storylines coming out of this Ohio State sideline after last night about how bad they looked. But let's go to Missouri. That promo that Drinkwitz cut was awesome. And I think that's been something we've been seeing all year with this Missouri team. They're trying to redefine who they are as a program. You know, Georgia beat them. It was a close one. And a couple weeks later, we were down there for game day, and I'm like, I don't think these Georgia fans fully appreciate that Missouri win because of who Missouri has been for a long time. You watch that speech. You watch how they bullied Ohio State last night, how serious they took that. They were using that as a launching pad into next year for what they had built this past year. Schrader, Cook, Luther Burden. I mean, that Missouri team had a hell of a year. It ended on a very, very high note last night in Arlington, Texas.
How about Blake Baker, guy that doesn't get talked about a lot? He's been around coaching a long time and has had coordinator opportunities down at University of Miami a few years ago, and now here he is doing an amazing job this year. I know he's focused a lot on Missouri and their offense and that trio and everything they did, but, man, that defense all year, almost any game you watch, he brought a physicality and just kind of a chip on their shoulder, and it was on display against Ohio State offense and just couldn't get anything going. I think you almost have to pull yourself back a little bit if you're Ohio State and Ryan Day, and just kind of, I thought Mike McDaniels, I don't know if you guys watch Hard Knocks, but I've never seen a head coach take ownership of a loss the way he did with his players. And he pulled video out about, look what I'm doing here as a play caller. Look at this. I got to get better. We're going to hit this adversity, and instead of making excuses and pointing fingers, I'm just going to take some of this myself, and where can I get better? And I think that could be a good message for Ryan Day to talk about, hey, we're all in this. It's not you or you or you. It's all of us. Look in the mirror. And I think the big thing with Ohio State right now is they feel like they've gotten into a stage, like all programs fight against, the superior ones, a case of individuality, a case of worrying about the NFL, that type of mentality, because they have so much talent. I think if there's anything you would look at and say, I need to get a team that's invested in Ohio State more, not just their individual ability to go on to the next level. Because whether it's Michigan or it's a bowl game like this, when you look at the difference between Michigan winning a game or a Missouri team that was determined last night winning a game, I think it has to do with that. We don't care who scores. We don't care. We're playing for this, for each other to win a game. It really, I don't know if you could see it watching it on TV. Man, you could feel that from Missouri last night. You could not feel that from Ohio State. Their defense played well and kept them in the game. They
felt
just,
that way. I did pregame with Joey Galloway, and we talked about that. We talked about who's going to be motivated. We thought that Missouri would be much more motivated because, this is Ohio State. And if you win this game, the whole offseason, anytime someone talks about Missouri, they're going to talk about how you beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. I was surprised by Ohio State's defense. Yeah. They played great for like 3 quarters, but then the fourth quarter, 95-yard drive, 91-yard drive, and that's what decided the game.
One quick one. I think Ohio State also has a mentality of beating Michigan and going to the playoff, or the season's a bust. It's a failure. And I think that really starts from the coaches. They feel that they put that on these players so much. We're going to beat Michigan, and that's the goal, and we're going to go to the Big Ten championship, and we're going to win the Big Ten, and we're going to go to the playoff. And when those things don't happen, it's like, oh, well, season's over.
That's what I look like.
Right. I know you don't want that. But that's first world problems, man.
Yeah.
If you're unhappy and you win 11 games.
Hey, there's first world problems on the internet last night.
The one thing, too, about Ohio State, it was unfortunate for Devin Brown because he really had hoped to show that he was the guy for the future, and he may well be. But because of the injury, he didn't get a chance to play much.
Give me something.